I get asked this question constantly. CIMA or ACCA? Which one should I do? And honestly, it's one of the most important career decisions you make as an accounting professional. Get it right and it accelerates everything. Get it wrong and you spend years in roles that just don't fit. And every time my answer is the same. It depends entirely on what you want to do or where you want your career to go. Not which one sounds more impressive, not which one is your friend doing. Where do you want to end up? I'm Justyna, I'm CIMA-qualified. I trained at KPMG. I spent afterwards like nearly a decade in different finance roles across of one of the world's largest FMCG companies. And for the past 10 years, I've been running Practices Academy, helping students prepare for both CIMA and ACCA exams. So I've seen this decision play out hundreds of times. Today, we are going to break down both qualifications honestly. The structure, the difficulty, the salaries, and most importantly, which one actually fits your career ambitions. No fluff, let's start with CIMA.
Choosing an accounting qualification is a massive career decision. So what exactly is CIMA, and who is it actually for if you're a UK student?
Let's dive in. CIMA stands for the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. And honestly, that word management is really the key here.
Right, so who's it for? Well, unlike audit paths that look backward at historical records, CIMA is built specifically for management accounting. It's perfect if you want to be right inside a business driving forward-looking commercial finance and strategy.
How's the journey structured? It's 4 levels. You start at the certificate level, which you can actually skip if you have a relevant degree. Then you just progress up through the operational, management, and strategic levels.
What about the exams? It's a mix. You've got objective test exams, which are incredibly flexible and on-demand year-round, with pass rates from the mid-40s to low 80s. But then you have comprehensive case studies 4 times a year. Those test everything holistically, and pass rates typically sit between 50 and 70%.
Let's talk financial payoff. The return on investment is solid. As a newly qualified accountant in the UK, you're looking at a baseline salary of £40,000 to £55,000.
And for senior roles, the potential jumps massively. Senior salaries easily push past £70,000, often reaching well into 6 figures if you're on the CFO track.
Where does CIMA give you the biggest edge? It's an absolute powerhouse in UK corporate finance and FP&A. That's financial planning and analysis. It's also highly respected across Commonwealth countries, and it's growing rapidly in the US thanks to a partnership with the AI CPA.
Makes total sense. So that's CIMA, but how does ACCA compare?
That covers the facts really well. But here's what I think, based on the years of working in this industry, not just studying it. If your ambition is to climb inside the business, I mean really climb, all the way to financial director and CFO, CIMA is the qualification built for this journey. And the data backs it up. In 2025, Gap Web Salary Survey found that CIMA is now the most popular accounting qualification among UK finance professionals, overtaking both ACCA and ACA for the first time. Average salaries for CIMA holders in that survey came at, I think, over £85,000. That's not a coincidence. That's what happens when a qualification is genuinely aligned with where the senior money is in the business. And I saw that firsthand. After KPMG, I spent nearly a decade working across finance functions in one of the world's largest FMCG companies. And in that environment, in the boardrooms, in planning cycles, in commercial decisions, CIMA thinking is exactly what was valued. Not just reporting what has happened. Understanding why it happened and what to do next, that's what's important. The case studies in CIMA actually reflect that. So you have OCS, MCS, SCS. They don't test whether you can recall a standard. They actually test whether you can think like a decision maker or like a senior decision maker, all under pressure. Some students find that really incredibly motivating. Others find it harder than they expect. But here's the bottom line. If you want to be the person inside the business driving the strategy, CIMA is your path. If you want to be the expert the business calls from outside, that's where ACCA comes in.
Welcome to This Explainer.
Sizing up your accounting future means navigating a total alphabet soup of qualifications. So let's dive right into a rapid-fire breakdown of the ACCA, looking at it specifically for you, UK students.
First off, let's decode that acronym. What exactly are we talking about here? And honestly, whose career path does this fit the absolute best?
Right. So it stands for the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. You can think of it as basically the ultimate global professional body. It's practically tailor-made for anyone eyeing up careers in audit, public practice, financial reporting, or just really broad technical accounting.
Okay, that sounds pretty rigorous. What does the actual journey to get there look like?
Oh, it's a marathon for sure. You're looking at 13 exams total, broken down into 3 stages. You kick off with 3 applied knowledge exams, tackle 6 applied skills, and finish out with 4 strategic professional exams. Plus, you literally can't skip the real-world stuff. You absolutely have to complete an ethics module and rack up practical experience.
Yikes, 13 exams. So how steep is this climb?
There's a definite step up as you go. Honestly, those early applied knowledge pass rates are fairly generous, sitting in the mid-60s to high 80s. But things get very real at the applied skills level, dropping to around 40 to 55%. And strategic professional, that gets even tighter at 38 to 50%.
With pass rates like that, how do working students actually fit all this testing into their busy lives? Well, it starts off super flexible. The entry-level offers on-demand, computer-based exams, or CBEs, so you can kind of take them when you're ready. But for those higher levels, you transition into 4 fixed sessions per year: March, June, September, and December. So you absolutely have to map your year out in advance.
Let's pivot to the payoff. What are the salary expectations once you cross the finish line? The initial reward is definitely solid. Newly qualified professionals typically pull in somewhere between £40,000 and £50,000. As you move into senior roles, your pay easily rivals CIMA, but at that point, your salary is driven way more by your specific job title and sector than the letters after your name.
So where does holding an ACCA give you the absolute biggest advantage out in the market?
It heavily dominates in the Big Four and those mid-tier audit firms, as well as core financial reporting roles. But honestly, its biggest superpower is international portability. It is essentially a global career passport recognized across over 180 countries, with a massive demand right now in the Middle East, Asia, and Africa.
So if CIMA is the business world insider, ACCA is the global all-rounder.
Right, so now you've heard both, and I know what you're thinking. Just tell me which one to pick. Here's my honest take, and I'll be direct because most articles that you find on this topic are kind of on the fence. Let's start with the scale of ACCA, because it matters. Over 252,000 members worldwide, recognized in 180 countries, and 4 times the market size of CIMA. That's not an accident. ACCA is dominant because it's generally versatile. You have audit, tax, financial reporting, practice industry, public sector. It opens more doors earlier in your career. And for someone who doesn't yet know exactly where they want to end up, that breadth is genuinely valuable. If you want to work abroad, like Middle East, Asia, Africa, ACCA is the safer passport. Most employers in those markets know it immediately. Now, for audit and practice specifically, ACCA is the clear choice. Big Four, mid-tier firms, and any audit-focused environment, those organizations are built around ACCA-qualified headcount. It's not just about your career, it's what those employers structurally need. Now, if you already know you want to work inside the business, heading up finance, becoming a CFO one day, that's where CIMA becomes the more direct route. It's a more deliberate choice, but a very focused one. And if you generally don't know yet, let's start with ACCA. That breadth gives you more time to figure it out. You can always specialize later. Going the other way is harder. Don't pick based on which sounds more impressive. Pick based on the job that you actually want in 10 years. And whichever that is, we've got you covered. At Practices Academy, we have free practice materials for both CIMA and ACCA, built around the real exam format. The link is in the description below. If that helped you, please subscribe, give a thumbs up. We cover both qualifications every week. And if you got a question that I didn't answer today, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Good luck! You've already done the hard parts. You've been thinking about it properly.